Images that stays in my mind as I think about Palm Sunday this year is a pivotal moment in the demise of a really well-respected football manager. For context's sake, you have to know that amongst the ranks of football supporters, there's a top tier where you have season ticket holders who so love the club that buy every ticket for every league game of the season before even a ball is kicked. If someone is a lifelong season ticket holder, then they are a super fan. And if they have a choice over the colour they bleed, it would be the colours of their football club. At a key moment of a West Ham game, a lifelong fan is so disgusted with the direction of his club was going that he invades the pitch, tears up his season ticket and throws it in front of the stricken manager. Disgust, defiance and dismay are etched on the supporter's face. It's a fairly hollow victory, but marked the beginning of the end for the manager. What turns an ardent fan into someone who can vent such fury and rage? I think the same question reads across to the Palm Sunday crowd. The Palm Sunday crowd were longing for a popular Messiah, someone to overthrow the Romans, someone to bring about revolution. The problem is, Jesus had a different approach to the situation, and the seeds of this are sown as he rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. The all-conquering Messiah king would ride a horse and then kick the Romans out of the garrison and establish a new kingdom of justice in Jerusalem. The king would be on the throne and it would all end happily ever after. But the crowd don't get a mighty king, they get a humble servant on a donkey. Instead of turning to the garrison, Jesus turns to the temple to cleanse that. Jesus has so many of the hallmarks of a popular Messiah, but he wasn't bringing a people's revolt and an earthly reign. Jesus didn't choose the popular path, and he becomes the Passover lamb with a coronation on a wooden stake at Calvary. The Saviour would be abandoned and denied. His disciples would disappear. Why? Because they didn't understand what he was doing. Jesus moved away from being popular. His crown was made of thorns, but the darkness and despair of the tomb gave way to the light of the resurrection, and he took his rightful throne in heaven. Palm Sunday holds up a mirror to our fickle hearts. So often we want God on our own terms. As we look at the crowd that turns on Jesus on Palm Sunday, we need to realise that they are a perfect reflection of the human condition. If there was a crowd in 2020, well, obviously they'd be dispersed for social gathering and not isolating. But that same tendency to be popular is still there. As we struggle with being apart as a church, let's look to our servant Saviour's death, who never chose the popular path and was faithful even walking towards death, as he knew this was the true way of victory and life beyond death. Every blessing as this comes to you from a distance on Palm Sunday.